G'day and welcome to The Tennis for episode 21 of season 7. Well, the US Open is shaking things up with the mixed doubles in 2025. Demon has fallen to Alcaraz in Rotterdam, but back up to a career high world number 6. And we're down to the business end in Doha, but some surprise upsets as we round into the quarterfinals. That's all ahead on The Tennis with me, John Hoovenars. Bree Stewart is with me. Welcome back, Bree.
Thank you. Good to be here.
The great Australian legend John Fitzgerald joins us. Welcome, Fitzy.
Thank you, Jonathan. Gee, you put me on the back foot already. Thank you for that.
Soon to make another big splash in the world of tennis with some exciting news to come today. Storm Hunter, welcome, Storm.
Hi, it's been a while.
Have you been keeping up with Storm's Instagram account over the last few
Always.
months?
I'm like a creeper.
Some very inspirational content coming.
Yeah, it's been so good. We were actually talking about it before and I was quizzing her on what's been happening and from what we'd seen. So, yeah.
We do look forward to hearing your announcement shortly, but we're going to do What's Caught Your Eye as we like to start every regulation episode with. And over to you, Fitzy. What's caught your eye in the tennis world this week?
Well, I think the biggest news for me is the quite dramatic changes that the USTA are making, or the US Open is making, to mixed doubles. And there's been a big announcement in the last 24 hours or so on the US Open putting the mixed doubles in a reduced format and a different type of format into the first week, the week of qualifying for their event. And it's really causing some discussion. I think there'll be opinions everywhere about it, and it's something that we probably really need to touch on.
This statement from the USTA overnight. The USTA has reimagined and elevated the focus of the mixed doubles by moving it to the first week of the US Open. So that'll be Tuesday the 19th to Wednesday the 20th of August, a 2-day format. It will be played on Arthur Ashe Stadium and Louis Armstrong Stadium, with, once again, primetime viewing for ESPN and international viewers on their broadcast channels. The USTA Executive Director and CEO Lou Scher says we'll be scheduling mixed doubles on the centre stage and enabling more fans worldwide to enjoy the thrill of watching their favourite stars compete for this coveted Grand Slam championship title. So it seems as if the intention here is to get bigger names playing on their own stage earlier to attract more fans, right?
Yeah, I think so. And I understand, I guess, what they're trying to do. They're trying to get more interest into the US Open. Mixed doubles is so much fun to watch, even when it's just the best singles players in the world. We love kind of seeing them interact on court, how they go about it. But for me, I'm a really big traditionalist. And I think to, I guess, put a Grand Slam title on that mixed doubles, I'm not a fan of at all. I think it should be in the 2 weeks of a Grand Slam. It should be, the mixed doubles right now, it's best of your singles or doubles ranking. So singles players can already enter it during a Grand Slam. It's not like they don't have access. It's not just for doubles players. It's for the best players in the world, singles or doubles. And singles players aren't playing that at the moment. And I think it's a great idea to have an exhibition like that in the week leading into the US Open, but I'm definitely not a fan of the fact that it's going to be a Grand Slam title. It's taking jobs away from doubles players, and pretty rogue decision, Fitzy.
It's certainly going to raise a lot of eyebrows. It's changing the format into something that we haven't sort of seen before. But look, I wonder whether the discussion should be a little deeper than just the fact that they've changed this. I've been a bit of a critic, sort of in my own little area here in Australia for a while, about how doubles has evolved a little bit, and the dimensions of the court are still the same.
Yeah.
But the equipment has changed so dramatically in the last 20-odd years that it's changed the game of doubles. And there have been coaches, and to their credit, who have worked out and taught their players how to win a doubles match playing a different way, and that is crowding the net so much when their partner serves a big serve that they can just like pick a cherry at the net. And to me, what has worried me about that is that it's taken some of the nuances away, the skill sets away that are traditional. And I'm also a huge lover of doubles, Stormer, and it was a big part of my life, and I used to love playing it as well as singles. But I just wonder whether that has had or whether that has caused some of these thought processes to come to the fore because of how the game of doubles has evolved. That's what my question is.
In the minds of tournaments, is that what you're saying?
Possibly.
Yeah.
And I heard one of our very prominent commentators during the Australian Open, I agreed with him, say that, look, in pickleball, for instance, you have a zone where the player can't get too close to the net. And I just wonder, maybe it's too late for any of that to change, but the game of doubles, I think, has lost some of its skill set. In fact, a lot of its skill set. And I don't necessarily think that's been a great thing. But it's been a natural evolution because the dimensions of the court are still the same. They can hit the ball harder now with the modern equipment, which has allowed them to win points in an easier fashion closer to the net. So whether that's influenced this decision, probably not, but it might be part of, a very small part of the evolution of how the game of doubles is perceived.
Just a question for both of you, but if some of the art of doubles has been lost, something like this probably doesn't really help bring it back though, does it? Because I know they're using words like reimagined and elevated.
Right.
I'm not sure that they are necessarily elevating.
Yeah, just making it more entertaining and exhibition-y, which, again, when that is played, it's been played at Indian Wells for the last few years. Like, I really enjoy watching it. It's actually quite fun to watch, and there's definitely a place for that. But when I think you're putting a Grand Slam title on the line over 2 days, even shortening the format first to 4 in the sets instead of, a standard format, I just think it doesn't quite, Grand Slam title to be a Grand Slam champion in the mixed doubles, it doesn't have the same, meaning and
it's lightened the value, hasn't it?
Yeah,
I think
that's what it feels like, doesn't it?
And you're a former champion of the US Open mixed doubles. So what was your reaction, and what does this mean for you possibly in August of 2025?
Yeah, it was pretty shocking and a little bit disappointing because I have amazing memories. That's where I became a Grand Slam champion for the first time at the US Open, playing with John Peers. And, we played a full 10 days of the tournament there, beat a lot of really good teams, singles players as well, not just doubles players who signed up and played, and got the opportunity to play on Arthur Ashe Stadium and to become Grand Slam champions was amazing. And the first thing that I thought of was like, oh, wow, I'm probably not going to get that opportunity again if this happens obviously at the US Open it's happening, but even further with other slams. And I'm probably not going to get the opportunity because they're deciding who can play, really.
Gee, that would be a crying shame if a former number one doubles player in the world doesn't get that opportunity. Look, one question I have, Stormy, and you're at the coalface of the sport. At the moment, you're still there, and you've been number one, so you're a prominent player. Do you think length of matches is contributing to this as well? Because I get a little annoyed, commentating at the Australian Open when players go off after a 6-1 first set. They'll come out, it'll be a quick set, it'll be 20 minutes, 25 minutes, they go off the court. Sometimes they go off for 7 or 8 minutes. And our matches now, I mean, we had 2-day matches starting at 11 this year at the Australian Open, and even then it's dangerous about whether it's going to go into the night session or not. So the matches are extraordinarily long now. Is that and I don't think that's a great thing. I think that we have to do what we can to make those matches a little shorter. Is that part of this decision, do you think, or not?
I don't necessarily think so, but with the longer matches, then doubles matches and mixed doubles matches are getting played so late that even if they want to market those matches and try and get crowds in and watch, there's actually no audience because they're always kind of been put kind of after the singles. And even in singles, when players are going off the court or taking medical timeouts or going to the bathroom, and it just extends over a day's time, like a match that should be an hour, it's almost 2 hours because of the waiting time in between. I think it just disengages the crowd, first of all, and you want the crowd to be involved and to be seated and watching, staying for those doubles matches as well as the mix. So
maybe length of matches is inadvertently affecting it because I think they're taking too long. And the attention span of people isn't 8 hours necessarily for 2 matches. The shot clock I think is worth discussing at some stage.
Reducing the time.
I think the shot clock has actually hurt the sport because players now reverse engineer it back so that they can
take all the
time.
Yeah.
And matches they're so long. I think we need to shorten it a little bit somehow.
Some big conversations to be had. I'm sure this is not the last we're going to speak of it here on the tennis. Tennis Australia put out a statement today. Mixed doubles is a fantastic showcase of tennis and one of the only opportunities in world sport where men and women can compete alongside and against each other. A key pillar of success of the United Cup, where the mixed doubles has often determined the result, and it's a big hit with both the players and the fans. Our whole summer is about creating more opportunities for the players, providing more competition on the bigger stage and more prize money. So it would appear that at the moment, Tennis Australia's position is to still enshrine the Mixed Doubles Championship in its current position in the schedule.
To be honest, sometimes when one slam makes a change, it's like with the Sunday starts, right? It's as soon as one slam makes a change and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
we'll
We'll
see.
see what happens.
We'll
yeah.
see.
I had a question, and sorry, I know we're wrapping up, but the prize money of $1 million, is that higher or less?
If that's for the winner, that is significantly higher,
Yeah.
like tenfold.
Oh, well, it says a winner's prize.
No, it will
so
be.
it's a
that
bucket.
will be the champion.
Oh, really?
Yep, that'll be the champion's prize. So yeah,
That would be significantly more.
halving the draw, less time it takes, 2 days. There's a lot of money saved there on the logistics to put on this tournament. So it makes sense.
And more marketable
Yeah,
in
that's
inverted commas. Yeah.
Fitzy, I know there's heaps more to discuss, but we'll put it on ice for now and perhaps come back to it at a later date. Well, over to you, Storm. What's caught your eye in the tennis world this week?
Well, I'm super excited about this one. So what's caught my eye is Belinda Bencic winning the WTA 500 title in Abu Dhabi. After, becoming a mum, it's her first title since having her daughter Bella in late April last year. So, I mean, her daughter's not even 1 year old yet, and she's been traveling. She started playing again in October, playing some ITFs kind of around Europe, and then made the last-minute decision to come to Australia because of United Cup. She actually wasn't going to come and play in Australia. It was a bit too far to have her daughter travel with her, and she was saying that the logistics of managing, her little baba and then trying to get physically ready and being able to play, trusting her body. And she ended up making the 4th round here at the Australian Open, which was amazing.
And she played so well at United Cup as well. Yeah.
She did. And for her to win the title, beating Ashlyn Kruger in the final and Rybakina in the semi-final, I think was amazing. And like, she's just such a great person. She travels with her husband, and now her daughter, and I just was so happy for her to see her win the title last week.
Let's hear Belinda Bencic in her post-match championship speech.
And also to win the title in front of my family, it's really special. And I can't thank them enough for the support all the week. And also to my coach, Ian. I think we did such a hard work to play here again, to my family at home, to all my team, to people that are helping me. And of course, to my husband and to my daughter, Bella. I love you so much. And this is like it was a big dream for me, to come back and play in front of her and to win the tournament.
So a second title for Belinda Bencic in Abu Dhabi and her first as a mother. Congratulations to Belinda. And is it Bella, the young daughter?
Bella,
Great name.
yeah.
Bella Bencic. Hope to see that one
That's a great
That's a
name.
beauty.
in the results to come, in years to come.
Yeah, amazing. That's a winner's name.
Bree, what's caught your eye this week?
What caught my eye was Alex de Minaur, runner-up in Rotterdam. He went down to just a nobody in Alcaraz. But what really caught my eye was what he spoke about afterwards.
Carlos, congratulations, man. I mean, too good again to you, to your whole team. You're an incredible person. We've known each other for a very long time, and we always have some fun battles, and I enjoyed my time very much on the court today, so thank you. And as I said, it's been a lot of improvements in my game over the last couple of years, and I'm going to keep on pushing for more. And it's been 2 years now with this runner-up trophy. I'm hoping I'll get my hand on the winners one day, so thank you guys.
He was like, 2 years with this runner-up trophy. Can't wait to get my hands on the winners one day. And kind of it was very, very complimentary to Alcaraz, which Alex is always such a good sport, right? But he was also like, I kind of hate, there's a few people I hate on this tour, and he's kind of one of them kind of thing. Because poor Alex is, some of these times that he's lost, it's him or Sinner or, I really liked the speech and how Alex approaches a lot of this stuff, and he's still so driven and committed, and he knows he's going to get it one day against them, and it just wasn't his day.
Look, he's great for the sport. I'm so happy Australia's got him, and he deserves every bit of success, I think, that he gets. So it's a long journey to try and knock those big heavy hitters off,
Yeah.
you know, and he's trying to improve his game in so many different ways, and that's really all he can do. So anyone that does that, I take my hat off to.
What can you do as a player to start to innovate and find a way in?
Gosh, it's so hard. It's so hard, I think, even for him mentally to just keep going at it, and I think one thing that he has, one of his strengths, is that he's not putting a limit on himself. He's really trying to, after every tournament, when he has a loss like this to Alcaraz or Sinner at the AO, he's really kind of coming back to the drawing board and okay, how can I keep getting better? What do I need to work on? And like Fitzy said, he's literally getting everything out of himself, and no matter what, he can only be proud of himself for what he's achieved. And I think, he's still got a lot to go as long as he can stay healthy and fit and just keep pushing, keep going. I think, you never know when you're going to get an opportunity, and he's just got to keep kind of putting himself out there, and then you never know. But it's incredibly hard, and he's doing an amazing job to just keep showing up and keep
Chipping
doing that.
away, isn't he?
100%.
Look, he's doing. I think he's doing everything he can. He's going against heavyweights, guys that are bigger, they're stronger, and they hit the ball harder. And they hit the ball heavier, which is a term we use a lot in Tennis Storm. The ball feels heavier off Sinner's racket and Alcaraz's racket than it does off a lot of others. That is hard to combat. And probably, I mean, they're great players. They're truly great players. So he's in an era now where we've gone past the big three in the men's game, plus Andy, those four players. And now the great players or the top end players have to face these two new, incredible, sort of evolutionary players, really. Guys that will transcend the next generation. Tough to combat that.
Yeah.
Well,
He did take a set off Alcaraz, though, which I thought was
great.
great.
Yeah. So the scoreline there in the end, 6-4, 3-6, that middle set to Demon, 6-2 in the end. And Carlos Alcaraz had previously knocked off Hubie Hurkacz in the semi-final, also in 3 sets to get through. So, there are challenges. Let's hope that our Aussie Alex can make further inroads against the big dogs. They're all going to be back in action next week in Doha, and we're going to get to the women shortly. But the men, Doha from February 17 next week. Jannik Sinner to play his first tournament since AO 2025. Alcaraz will be there too. Djokovic will be there, and Daniil Medvedev.
Wow.
Who's in action in Marseille this week. So that's a pretty star-studded field in Doha. I wanted to speak about Jannik Sinner. We haven't seen him for about 3 weeks. And during the tournament, we had the opportunity with Daniela Huntakova and her podcast, The Real DNA podcast, to collaborate. And she brought in Jannik Sinner's fitness coach by the name of Marco Panici. To kind of pick his brain about the process of keeping a player like Jannik Sinner fine-tuned and ready to go. Remembering, of course, that he played the year-end ATP finals, then he had to play Davis Cup where Italy went all the way. I think by the time they got into his pre-season, they only had about 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks preparation.
What is one of the biggest challenge from the physical side?
Well, I would change a little bit all the schedule and planning of the on tour. Let's say we arrive actually now here in Australia, and my player, for example, he played the Davis Cup final, so which means we had a really short time, considering also he needed to rest a little bit, of course. And so before, for example, we had almost between 6-8 weeks of pre-season. Do you remember this? And now basically we have 3 weeks. Before we had a little bit more time to schedule a normal work. Now it's more reactive, everything. So you have to be you have to know very, very well your player and how he reacts on some input that you give to him.
So basically now the reason why the players are traveling with, let's say, with bigger teams is that you actually do most of the work on the road?
Absolutely.
So, Storm, I'm interested to get your insights here as someone who's had a long rehab and understands all the ins and outs of getting your body right. Jannik Sinner, we saw him struggling big time during the mid stages of the Australian Open. Some of that was to do with heat as well. But the decision to pull out of Rotterdam and give himself 3 weeks effectively to have another mini pre-season, how important is it to have breaks in the calendar where you can actually work on those aspects?
Yeah, it's super important. And I think for him, to come off like Marco said, he only had 3 weeks off season and pre-season to get ready for a Grand Slam. So for him, I think that's pretty smart scheduling, to be honest, to just say, you know what, if I go push too hard, you can have a really big crash and have, you know, an injury might pop up. So just to take the time away. And I really like what Marco said, the work gets done now on the road. I think maybe 5-10 years ago, you had more time to go home, do your leg training. And then when you got on the road, it was like, okay, I'm recovering and I'm getting ready to perform. Whereas now, like you said, a lot of players are traveling with their teams because you're actually continually working on the road. You don't really get many times to have a break. So you're constantly, when you have a day off or you have a down day, you're actually working and you keep getting better. And I think it's, again, credit to Jannik and his team just knowing, you know, how his body responds, what he might need to perform at his best. So if he's playing Doha next week, then he's ready to go. He's not going to go there if he's not feeling ready enough to compete and to win. So I think it's smart.
I think the other thing that all of us mortal tennis players forget to think about is how many matches the great players win, and what they physically go through compared to what, you know, the lesser players went through. So, you know, if you played 2 singles matches a week, it means you won your first round at a big tournament, and you lost second round, and you know, you're physically feeling pretty drained after all that. These guys win; they get to the final consistently, so they're playing an unbelievable number of matches physically, and therefore they have less time off. Now, we know that the tennis season has less time off than most sporting most sports. So what Marco says is they have to train while they're on the road because there's not enough downtime when they're off the road to get enough work into their legs. So, and especially it must be difficult. I'm imagining this because I didn't experience it, where they're in the final all of those weeks. How you get the work into them while they're playing matches. So you've got to get a lot of it. You've got to derive a lot of that, you know, those miles in the legs, so to speak, during your matches. So that's helpful. But, gee, it's physical. What they go through, we shouldn't underestimate.
I mean, I watch your videos and I just see the load you put in just to get back. It might be a good time now to give us an insight. Where are you up to, and tell us what your plans are?
Yeah, so I'm pretty much at the 10-month mark since I ruptured my Achilles, and I'm very excited to announce that I'm back. I'm ready to yay! I'm ready to compete. So yeah, we're leaving next week to head to Austin, Texas for a WTA 250, and then Indian Wells and Miami. So I'm going to be playing doubles at those 3 events. I'm not quite ready for singles yet, but it doesn't matter. I'm ready for doubles. I'm excited to get back on the road, get back into being, a professional tennis player and kind of to close this chapter of being, you know, a injured athlete and being in rehab. And I haven't felt like that for a while. I've been training the last few months, like pretty much full time, but to be, back on tour, focused on more performance, you know, being out there and problem solving, competing. I'm really excited. So it's been kind of weird. It's like feels like it's just come up really, really fast. But I've been working extremely hard, so I'm very, very excited.
Look, the game of tennis is better off having Stormy Hunter
Thank
back
you.
in.
So
It is better off.
It really is.
Good luck, mate.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. And is Lachlan, your husband, going with you as well?
Yeah, Lachlan, he's coming with me. And
it's his job.
It's his job now.
It is. I was just, wanted to check.
And Praddy, Nicole, my coach, she's coming too.
Praddy.
So she's been, there every step of the way for a very long time. So it's kind of, we're excited. You know, the first few weeks when you get back from injury, you're not really focused on the result. Like you want to go out and compete and obviously win, but it's like you have a little bit more perspective of it's just great to be out here. I just want to compete, enjoy playing tennis again. Just been reflecting a little bit on the last 10 months. It's been a crazy journey and from learning to, re-walk again, to jumping, my first time that I started running, getting on the court again and being like, oh, can I do this? Like it really felt at times like it was a very big mountain to climb to get back. So now I'm kind of not quite back up the top of the mountain, but definitely feels a lot closer, which is nice.
I think you're forgetting some of the other things you achieved too while being off, like coming and being on the podcast with us, and you were commentating over the Australian Open.
Every cloud.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, for us, it's really sad that you're back on the circuit because we won't get to talk to you as much. But
I've asked her to send us some videos
some
from
vlogs.
time to time.
Yeah, that'd be so good.
Yeah.
Who are you going to be playing with?
I'm playing with Caroline Dollarhide.
Okay, great.
Yeah, from the US. So we played together a few years ago, and she's one of my closest friends. So she's super pumped, and it'll be really fun.
Praddy will be on the podcast next week as well, so she'll be able to give us the other side, like the insight from the coach's angle. And her other protege, Kim Birrell, has jumped to a career-high singles ranking as well.
Yeah, Kimbo's doing amazing. And again, it's so good to see her doing so well. And she had a lot of injuries as well in the past, and again, didn't think that she was going to be playing tennis. And for her to just, I think, have the belief in herself. And now that she's cracked 100, it's almost like sky's the limit. She can literally keep going. She's sitting at 75 now, and you can just see in the way that she plays that she's backing herself in, which is super exciting. So, yeah, she's playing also in Austin and Indian Wells, Miami. So it'll be a fun trip for all of us.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch all of it. They're some of my favourite tournaments to watch.
Also,
Love the desert.
coming up next week for the men, Doha, as I mentioned, and Rio de Janeiro. So Alex Zverev will be there alongside Holger Rune, Lorenzo Mazzetti, and a couple of exciting Brazilian talent in Joao Fonseca and also Thiago Seybothwild. So keep your eye on that one. But I wanted to talk about Doha and the WTA this week. We're down to the quarterfinals as we record this episode. So it'll be Ekaterina Alexandrova against Jess Pegula. Now, Alexandrova caused probably the upset of the tournament so far, taking down Aryna Sabalenka in the round of 32. She's not a name that comes up a lot sort of on the podcast in terms of reaching semis and finals, but she's always thereabouts as a contender in these 500 and sometimes 1000s as well.
Yeah, she is. And she's the type of player that the ball speed of a Sabalenka or Rybakina or even Coco Gauff at times doesn't bother her. She's a big striker. She likes to take control on the court, and she hits a really heavy ball. So it's an amazing win. To beat the world number one at any point is incredible, but at the same time, I'm not surprised because she does have that level in her. I've played against her and have felt very uncomfortable on court. She definitely takes the racket out of your hand, but to win 7-6 in the third, that's, incredible win. And, I feel like at these events, sometimes you do see these upsets because it's not a huge, huge tournament in the sense of it's not an Indian Wells, Miami, a Grand Slam. It's still obviously a big tournament, but for these players who are kind of sitting, kind of outside that top 10, top 20, and it's a really good opportunity for them to make a breakthrough. And I think all it takes is one player to kind of beat a very high quality player, and then everyone else kind of gets that, if she can do it, I can do it. So it does create some interesting results.
And then Fitzy, Marta Kostyuk is through to a quarterfinal against Amanda Anisimova, and she spilled Coco Gauff in the round of 32, the young Ukrainian, plus Ons Jabeur, who will now take on Yelena Ostapenko, who defeated Jasmine Paolini. So 3 of the top 4 seeds are out of the competition, and you've got only Iga Swiatek and Elena Rybakina of the top 5 remaining.
Well, I always think there's some health in that, because you see new names, you want new names, you want more stars. And I think if you have the same winners week after week, it becomes a little monotonous at times. So forgive me for saying that, but I quite like it when there's some upsets and some good young players, new faces, new fresh faces come through. It's good for the sport.
Nice. Iga going for 4 titles in a row here in Doha.
Yeah, I know.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, it is phenomenal. I've really been enjoying the cat that keeps going out on court.
You seen it?
Yeah.
It's so cute. And do you know what? It's the same cat that was on court last year.
Oh, is it?
They figured it out. It's the same cat. So this cat comes out on court like throughout this tournament every year. Well, for the past 2 years.
It's a bit of a Garfield lookalike.
Yeah,
in better nick.
Well, it's not. It wasn't a what do you call it? A ginger cat.
Well,
wasn't
sort
it a
of.
tabby?
Well, it definitely had ginger in it.
Yeah.
I mean, you should know.
I do. It's a tabby. I do know. It's a tabby.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll keep on cat watch throughout.
It's so cute.
We will have the results from Doha and also the men's, a few 250s happening. As I mentioned, Daniil Medvedev, the top seed in Marseille at the moment. Hugo Humbert is also in the quarterfinals. Delray Beach and Buenos Aires is currently underway. Our Spanish producer will probably give me a little pronunciation lesson later on. But it's probably time for your top 5, I would have thought, Brett.
Oh, thought it'd never come.
Let's do it. What's our top 5 this week?
Look, it's a bit convoluted, but obviously tomorrow is Valentine's Day. So a big shout out to everyone in love out there. That's not me. But our top 5.
It's my time to be sad.
Our top 5 social comments between couples.
Okay, so in the theme of Valentine's Day.
Well, yeah, no, it's just kind of funny comments between couples from the tennis world on social media.
All right, well, let's start with number 5.
So Alex de Minaur put up a post during the Australian Open about being at an Airbnb. Obviously, it was a partner post, and he had a book in the photo, and Katie Boulter wrote, "You read?" ?
That banter has been
Yeah.
a long-running thing, hasn't it? Even
Yeah.
before their dating days.
Yeah, I really love their stuff.
All
So
right. You
that's number 5.
Love it. Number 4.
So this is a tennis player and his partner. So Brazilian João Reis de Silva, he came out recently indicating he's gay, and his partner went to one of the first first tournaments where he actually won, and his partner wrote this really nice post about it. His partner is a Brazilian actor, so not from the tennis world, and he wrote, "The first final I get to watch, and the trophy is here. So proud of your journey, your success, and this achievement. Thank you for bringing me into this world. Time to celebrate. You deserve it, and 2025 is going to be amazing because we are a team."
Oh,
Nice.
That's
That
It's
also,
really cute.
that also works for a Mother's Day post when you say, "Thanks for bringing me into this world."
I know,
If he
but
wants to
obviously
double
he
up.
means the tennis
I
world.
know, I know. All right, keep going.
Okay, so Emerson Jones, our Australian tennis junior, is dating a Dutch junior as well. They're both world number 1s in the juniors.
Oh.
She is dating Mies, I'm going to say this wrong, Rotgering.
Give me a look at the spelling and we'll go for it. Oh, yeah. Rotgering. Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
more like this. Rotgering.
And he posted, well, they both won in Chengdu.
Yeah.
And
That's nice.
he posted being like, absolutely so proud of you. And she wrote back, "I'm even more proud of you."
She's going to be something, Emerson, isn't she? Oh, already. Storm. What a
Don't
bit.
you love love?
I'm in tears.
Don't you think that's really cute? They're 17.
It's quite nice.
that is cute.
So,
Yeah.
is there much love on the tour in the junior ranks in terms of relationships and whatnot?
There's no love lost a lot.
No
of the
love
time.
lost, I'm sure. But you don't hear much. You don't hear much about junior couples. I was just wondering if you've ever heard of any.
Yeah, well, the first one that comes to mind is Luke and Dasha.
Yeah.
They met when they were, I think, 15,
The problem
16.
with them,
on
though,
tour.
is that they don't post mushy stuff that's fun for the pod, but I'll give them that feedback.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. By the way, I want Storm to link up with the Savills and do Stormy's Savile blog when she's away traveling. Because that would be really good to get all our friends back together, the former housemates. All right, wait, 2 to go.
So we can't do this without having a Bedoza and Sissipas moment.
Yep.
Obviously. So Bedoza, end of January, put up a really great post about the journey she's been on and coming back from injury and all that kind of stuff. And then Sissipas commented on it and said, "You don't just play tennis, you play life and you're winning at both." Love heart. Fitzy, I feel like you don't love love.
No, I do. I'm just listening. Just sitting over here listening. I find it very interesting. Yeah, and I'm not sure I'm qualified to comment as much as you are.
Well, like I've had years of experience of watching other people in love.
Oh, stop it.
I'm using the humour. It's fine.
I can just imagine Stefanos sitting there devising that because he's always got to keep up
know.
his philosophical
He's
edge.
very philosophical.
Yeah,
Twitter.
he does.
So he has
Yeah.
to. He can't just feel love, Fitzy. You realise this. He has to understand love,
He does,
which is what
understand love,
philosophy is
yeah.
all about, right?
Yeah.
The understanding.
He needs to listen to a Robbie Williams song, you know.
Which one?
Feel.
Oh, that is a phenomenal tune, by the way.
love Robbie
recently heard the
Williams.
backstory to it. But.
Love
What
him
an
so
entertainer he
much.
is.
He's
Yeah.
so good. Let me entertain you.
And our number one, what do we do? What's it called again? Number one what?
Number
Comments.
one, top 5 comments between people in love in the tennis world. Number 1 has to go, and I know they've already been in the top 5, but it has to go to Katie Boulter and Alex recently. So Katie put up a tweet about Bencic.
Yep.
I always get that wrong. Get married equals win slam. Have a baby equals win 500. Just talking about how great it was, what she had achieved. And Alex wrote, "You got any ideas you want to share with me?" Question mark, question mark, question mark, laughing emoji.
I like it.
I would just question that it's the other way around. Like having a baby is,
The bigger deal.
don't you think?
I think that's my Grand Slam title.
Mate,
coming up.
that's you.
Yeah.
And we need to talk about you.
Yeah. Well, in 4 weeks' time, I will have, hopefully,
Oh, a little bundle of joy.
a little daughter joining us.
The biggest deal of your life.
Yeah.
Mate.
Have you
It
got
is-
names ready?
We actually do have a name, and I'll be revealing it on the
Yeah,
podcast
great.
shortly. Not today.
Is it true that great men have daughters?
I don't know. Have you got any?
Well, I'm telling you.
How many have you got, Fitzy?
2.
Quite possibly then. And
a
I'm
son.
sure the fathers,
We've got a great son
the
as
fathers
well,
of
but,
Storm and Bree would attest to that as well.
This will be the biggest moment of your life so far. So I'm very confident to say that.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And that might be a nice transition to Ace of the Week where we each share something non-tennis related. But we are now squarely in the zone of expecting our little daughter in early to mid-March. So this will be my third last episode as host for a little while before I go away. But the nursery's ready. We got the pram. Elmi's done a phenomenal job at decorating as well. She's a painter in her spare time and has done some great artwork as well. Has created a mobile to hang above the. Well, you're not supposed to put it above the bassinet,
cot,
but
yeah.
somewhere, maybe above the change table. So it's all coming home. And this weekend we're having a picnic. It's not a baby shower. In fact, the title of the event is definitely not a baby shower. But
I like
just,
that.
Just to
Yeah.
see our friends for one last time, perhaps before we go into a lengthy hibernation. So,
Yeah,
for you, mate.
you'll
Looking
never see
forward to
them
that.
again.
Yeah.
Bree, what's your ace of the week?
My ace of the week is that tomorrow is Valentine's Day and I'm spending it with one of my really good friends. Her and I are cooking dinner at my house, having some cheese and wine, and then we're going to see Dear Evan Hansen.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Have you seen it yet?
I haven't. And
Anyone here seen it?
I've seen it. Yeah.
How good is it?
Apparently
so
it's
good.
amazing.
How good is Bo Woodbridge?
He is unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, I was saying to Todd, I really want to see it because Todd was in here on Monday and he was like, Brie, it closes on the weekend.
Yeah.
So instantly, while he was standing there, I purchased tickets. So I'm spending Valentine's Day with my good friend and some cheese and wine and a great theatre production.
You won't forget it.
I can't wait. Yeah.
You know, Todd's chasing his own record of 22 majors here. He's up to
Yeah, I know.
he's up to
Do you know-
20 shows seeing of his own son in Dear.
Oh, wow.
He's seen
Yeah.
20 times. I couldn't believe
And
it.
I said
Wow.
to him, I'm going to go Friday. And he's like, I'm going too. See you there. And I messaged
well-
him last night being like, I'll see you there on Friday.
Yeah, the day that the one time I've seen it, Todd was there. He looked like that cat in Doha who'd had all the cream. He was very happy about it, and so he should be. But Bo, yeah,
He's amazing, isn't he?
He's a star in his own right.
Yeah.
It is no longer son of Todd Woodbridge. It is father of Bo Woodbridge,
Yeah, totally, actually.
Yeah.
which really brings a smile to our faces. You know?
I love it.
Yeah, the new the lower third title on Tipping Point when he comes on as host, father of Bo Woodbridge.
There you go.
Stormy, what's your ace of the week?
So my ace of the week is actually last Friday, Lockie and I went to see Luke Combs
Oh,
at Marvel
did you?
Stadium and he was amazing.
Yeah.
I love
It
Marvel
was-
Stadium. That's a big venue, isn't it?
Yeah, and it was packed. Like it was completely full and he was just like incredible and yeah, Lockie loves country music. I'm not as big on country music, but yeah, Luke Combs was absolutely incredible and even his the acts leading into it, Jordan Davis and Mitchell Tenpenny. Yeah, they were amazing. It was just such a good vibe.
I do love country.
Yeah, everyone was just having a good time and it was so much fun. We haven't been to a concert in forever.
Did he sing a Kenny Rogers song or two?
No.
No.
But
Okay.
Mitchell
No.
Tenpenny probably could have sung The Gambler with a name like that.
Well, I wasn't there a post with the crowd packed leaving the stadium singing a Kenny Rogers song? I thought maybe a Kenny and Dolly Parton song. I'm not sure.
Oh,
Maybe.
Islands in the
Yeah, was
Islands
it?
in the
Was
Stream.
it?
stream.
I don't know.
Anyway,
They
Luke
could
Combs-
have done
Luke
that
Combs.
on the next night because even when we were walking out, everyone was just like singing. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was just so fun.
Yeah, he's big, isn't he, Luke?
Yeah.
I'll
I
tell you where
got
the
free tickets to it, but then I had seen everyone the night before having trouble getting home from Marvel, and because I've got like bunged up feet at the moment with like broken toes and stuff, I was like, I'm not doing that.
No, not your
Yeah,
scene.
so I didn't go.
I once got caught at Marvel Stadium on Valentine's Day. I wasn't attending, just to make that clear. A One Direction concert. Didn't realise it was on. And I chose to drive through Docklands.
No.
It took me an hour to
Yeah,
get from
nah.
one side of the
It's
stadium to the
crazy.
other.
It's actually such a hard place to get out of.
Yeah. Nightmarish.
Give me Rod Laver any day.
Give me
Oof.
Pod Laver.
Yeah.
Fitzy, what's your ace of the week, sir?
Well, at the risk of carrying on with the same theme, by the way, I just want to, it's the first time I've been on this podcast since the AO. What an extraordinary event that we all have an opportunity to be involved in. Holy smoke. It is bigger and better every year. Where does it end? It almost, like, I've said this before, but when I used to play last century, I could never have imagined how the Australian Open would evolve into what it's evolved into. It is an extraordinary event now. We're all a small part of it. We all should be proud of it and thank the leaders who have made it what it is. It boggles my mind each year.
Takes a lot of imagination, doesn't it?
But at the risk, I'll be quick.
Yep.
I'm having a third grandson.
Congratulations.
My son is having a son with his beautiful wife, Lily, and that's a big deal. They're breeding fast,
They
my
are.
gene pool. I can't
really
believe it.
are.
From a bit of a late start, now they're accelerating. It's pretty amazing.
Fitzgerald name lives on.
So I'll be thinking of you in a couple of weeks, mate. I'm really, really pleased and proud of you. It's a great thing.
Well, there's some great names here at this table, but do you think the new child will be able to compete with Walter James Huckleberry Harrison, which was your most recent?
I really love that.
Oh, what a great name. Yeah, he's
Strong.
And Theodore is his older brother. We call Teddy, and
Love that.
he's just snuggled in nicely with the new addition. I don't know if you can compete with that name. It's impressive.
It's really strong.
I'm sure you will.
Storm is number one on the names. list.
Yeah, totally, actually. Do you love being a grandfather, Fritz?
Well, it's brought some joy.
Yeah.
You know, after COVID in this state as Victoria, which I struggled with a lot, and started, well, I won't go down that path. It'll make us all depressed. But I struggled with that whole period, and I think the grandsons have really helped me develop more joy in my life again. It's been very different to having a child of your own. Very different.
Get to give it back.
But really a great experience.
Yeah.
like
I
going
reckon
to a
you would
library.
great at it. Yeah.
Very good. Well, I'm very happy for you. Congratulations to you and the family.
And you, Jonathan. Thank you.
Storm, wonderful to have you back on tour. We're going to be waiting with bated breath to watch you in Austin. All the best for your last couple of weeks' preparation.
Thank you. I'm very excited. I'm going to be sad to not be here, though.
Don't
Always
worry,
in
I'll
spirit.
keep stalking you.
We'll
Yeah.
be barracking from afar, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bree,
thank
back with
you.
me next week?
I actually am not.
You're away next week? Okay.
I'm on rest and recovery next week, finally.
Great.
So, yeah, I'll be laying in the Botanic Gardens reading a book. But I'll think of
at
you.
Novak's tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely.
I've actually been thinking about that when I walk through it, which one's his tree.
Well, Praddy and Simon Ray to join us next week, and we're trying to get Kim Birrell on the show as well to join us before she heads off also to Austin. That's all for today's episode, but make sure you join us again next week for more of the tennis as we dissect all the latest in the world of this great game. You can watch this episode and all other episodes of the tennis on our YouTube channel, Australian Open TV, and don't forget to hit the bell below so you never miss an episode and stay across the tennis all year long. Have a great week in tennis, guys, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan.